Good morning, everyone. Oh, let's do it one more time. Good morning, everyone. Wonderful to see everybody. My name is Erin Delaney, and along with the rest of the Thrive team, we'd like to welcome you this weekend, and thank you for sharing this full, amazing weekend with us. So it is going to be truly an amazing weekend. And in order to support you most, I invite you to please take a moment to turn off cellular phones or anything that beeps or buzzes or vibrates or sings or yodels, anything that will distract you from being here fully present this weekend. Thank you. And it is my great honor and pleasure to welcome to the stage a very special man. And this man, along with his brilliant and beautiful wife, Sharla Jacobs, went from zero to $175,000 in their first year of business. And since then, they've gone on to mentor over 20,000 people and have become two of the world's leading authorities in helping entrepreneurs get to six figures without burning out. And they love to give back. Jesse and Sharla love to give back, and they've given over $7 million in full scholarships to the Client Attraction Summit. And as you know, they've contributed immensely to people in third world countries. And what I know about Jesse and Sharla is that they've dedicated their lives to helping you reach your people, because they know the more successful that you are, the better this world becomes for everyone. And you may remember from the summit that one of the secrets is to get the most out of Jesse and Sharla is for you to give them your full tons of love and energy. So with that in mind, I invite you to rise up and give a huge San Jose welcome to Mr. Jesse Corin.
Give someone a double high five. And beautiful. Woo! All right. And go ahead and have a seat. Whew. All right. How are you guys doing today? Oh. All right. So raise your hand if you are ready to take your life and your business to the next level this weekend. All right. Beautiful. And raise your hand if you wouldn't mind filling your schedule with high-paying clients that you love this over the next 90 days. Awesome. So that's what this weekend is about. That's what this program is about. And I get really excited about this because as I look around, I see people from all the different generations of Client Attraction Summits coming together. And now you get to meet each other. And this is how we keep growing and evolving as a community. So one of the reasons why I love this weekend is raise your hand if you wouldn't mind getting a whole lot more yeses in your life, not just in your business, but how about everywhere in your life? Oh, yeah. Okay. Yes, me too. One of the things that I truly believe is that when you expect people to say yes to you, they say yes to you more often. Wouldn't it be cool if more people say yes to you? And that's what this program is all about. And it starts with learning how to master hard selling. Woohoo! One of my favorite words. And what I love about this is once you have the skills to master hard selling, you can go anywhere and within 90 days have a full, thriving business. And I know that because I've seen lots of our clients do it. And so my hope and my prayer and my intention for you this weekend is that you get so inspired and so confident this weekend that over the next month that you go out and have lots of heart-selling conversations, not because you have to, not because you should, but because it's a natural extension of who you are when you're at your best. Oh yeah. And so that you find that through your heart-selling conversations and through the referrals and through your inspiration, your practice, your business is filling naturally in harmony with how you're growing. And that's what I get excited about. Because when I see you at this weekend and I see you at the next weekend, many of you are in more programs with us, and I just watch you growing and growing and becoming more and more yourself, more lit up, more excited, more powerful, more of who you are. That's what gives me juice. So, that's why I get excited about this. I'll just tell you right now, life is really amazing. I took, just so you know, from a personal level, Sharla had her 41st birthday. You may have seen on Facebook. Yes, 41st. Just Monday, last Monday. And we had the most romantic day that we've had in a long time. It was awesome. I took her to the boardwalk in Santa Cruz. I know. It was... And it's not that I have never been to the boardwalk. I go probably every week with our kids. But it's been about 8 years since I've gone just with Sharla. And so, we'd always kind of look at the Giant Dipper, the roller coaster and all the adult rides and be like, one day we're going to come back, just me and you. So I surprised her and we went to the boardwalk. We felt like teenagers the whole time. We were surrounded by teenagers and we felt like teenagers. And then we went stand-up paddle boarding. Raise your hand if you've ever done that. Wow, it was really cool. And we saw 4 or 5 dolphins. We're in the harbor, in the yacht harbor in Santa Cruz, and they somehow came into the harbor and were just literally 20, 30 feet from our stand-up paddleboards. I was like, I hope they don't tip us over. But it was really fun. It was really romantic. And then I gave her a nice massage, and then the kids came home. And so that was good. And but all of this would not be possible without this mission. And you guys and the generations before you have been able to help us live the life of our dreams. And if I ever had one prayer for you, is that you experience this same level of fulfillment and gratitude as your clients allow you to step to the next level of your life. So big thank you to all of you for your trust in us, for your investment, for your faith in yourself, and for your belief in yourself that your people truly are waiting for you. And so it's my job this weekend to facilitate not just the belief, but the confidence that not only are they waiting for you, but you're the person to step up and meet them and take them to the next level. So a little bit about this weekend. We're gonna dive into niche. Raise your hand if you are very clear about your niche. About a third of you are pretty clear and solid about your niche. Raise your hand if you might know what your niche is, but you're still wavering a little bit about what your niche is. Okay? Okay? And raise your hand if you have no freaking clue what your niche is. And it's my goal in this work with you around your niche is that not only do you get it, but that you get it in a way where you don't put a lot of pressure on yourself because one of the things that I see with niche is that a lot of people put a lot of pressure on themselves to get the perfect niche and to get it right away. And so I'm going to share some things that I think will take the pressure off so that you can naturally and easily find your niche this weekend and then over the course of this program. So we'll do some work around that. We're also going to we're going to go deeper with your what do you do statement so that you leave this weekend with a what do you do statement that's at least twice as good as the one you have right now. How does that sound? Okay, good. Awesome. That's my intention. And then we're going to do some work around what we call the 6 stages of heart selling. Now, at the summit, we talk about the 5 elements of hard selling. Those still apply, but we found that there's a step-by-step system that I only found when I observed Sharla having hard selling conversations. It was at a client attraction summit, and she was having a demo on stage, and I realized she does the same 6 stages or 6 steps in order. And I realized that this is a linear step-by-step system as opposed to just having the 5 elements, which kind of is sort of a circular thing where you're connecting and then you're serving, but then you're connecting and then you're acknowledging and then you're getting curious, but then you're going back to connection, and then you're giving them a choice. It's not the linear step-by-step model that I think a lot of people have asked for. And so what we've been able to do is create the 6 stages, and then we've been able to give you specific language in which to have hard selling conversations that lead to free consultations, and then we'll give you the language for the free consultation that will lead to clients. And so templates with very specific questions to ask and phrases to say that you can memorize or at least have right by your side, or if you do these over the phone, these hard selling conversations and free consultations over the phone, you can have it right in front of you, which is cool. In fact, I did a free consultation. Someone offered me a free consultation, and I could tell he was reading from something, and I knew the template inside and out, and I still signed up for his $500 a month personal training program, and that's because the template is that powerful. We took a survey from the last program. 42% of the free consultations turned into paying clients, and what I'd like to see this time is 50% or more, because as I look around, I think this group might be a little bit more advanced than the last group. So we'll be doing role plays. You'll get to practice. The templates will give you practice with that. We also have a very transformational exercise that is one of my favorite exercises that will help you completely overcome your fear of people saying no to you. Look forward to it. It's going to be really fun. We're also going to do some work around positioning yourself. The positioning piece is a way to let people know how to relate to you. Do they relate to you as friend? Do they relate to you as potential client? Do they relate to you as potential JV partner? Do they relate to you as their potential mentor? How do they relate to you? And it all depends on how you position yourself within the first 30 seconds to a minute of the conversation. So we're going to help you to position yourself more powerfully. One of the biggest questions that we get is, now that I know hard selling, where do I find the people? So we're going to spend some time on the best strategies, the best places to go to find your people. When someone says, I can't afford it, or I don't have the time, I need to think about it, I need to talk to my partner, I need to spin a pendulum and consult with my tarot deck or my angels or my guides. What do you say when people say these types of things? And so we have 2 pages of questions to ask and when to ask them and for what reasons. So we're going to give you over 20 different questions that you can ask that will allow you to, not being pushy, not being like forceful, not being obnoxious, but in a graceful way, help them get out of their own way so they can say yes to their highest commitment, even if saying yes to their highest commitment is saying yes to investing in your services. Okay, so we'll give you those questions. We'll also do some breakthrough coaching. And breakthrough coaching is where I bring up one person at a time up on stage, and we do some breakthrough work. This is my favorite work to do, because it's like by the time you leave this weekend, you'll have way more skills and information and templates and practice than we had when we went from $0 to $175,000 in our first year. But the question is, are you going to get out of your own way to do it? And so the breakthrough coaching I do up on stage, it's with one person at a time, but it really, and I've gotten this feedback over and over and over, when one person has a breakthrough, everyone in the room has a breakthrough. And so we'll do some breakthrough work around, can you step into your confidence, into your power, so that when you're having these conversations, people take you seriously, and people see you as a mentor as opposed to as a friend, as a client, or worse. So that's a little bit of what you're going to get over the course of this weekend. And what I can tell you is that once you really master the art of client attraction, you will have the keys to be able to have a full schedule of clients whenever you want. If you decide one day that you don't want to have a business, then all of this that you're learning is great for job interviews. In fact, the people that we hire are generally pretty good at the 5 elements of hard selling. And so once you master this, I would say that you have come a long, 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 long way in terms of making sure that your survival, your livelihood is taken care of, and then everything else on top of that becomes gravy. It's no longer the fight or flight, and it becomes about thriving. That's my intention, and I feel like if you work this weekend and you work this program, you will be there. No matter how you feel like you are today, you will get there. Okay? Awesome. Okay, so what I want you to do right now is just take a moment and write down your intention. So pull out a blank piece of paper. What would you like to get out of this weekend, which is basically the advanced course of the Client Attraction Summits, where we take the Client Attraction Summit to a whole other exponential level. At the Client Attraction Summit, we share the story of how Sharla tripled her business in 3 months. Remember, I loaned her the money to hire the coach. She tripled her business. And just yesterday, I said, hey, Sharla, do you have your numbers from what happened during those 3 months that you tripled your business? And so we actually looked back to the spreadsheets that were like 10 years old. They were still sitting on her computer. And I got to actually look at what was, because we graphed out her numbers, because she was recording her numbers. Every time she made a new sale, she was recording the amount of money that she made that day. Does this make sense? She did that for 90 days. And so she graphed it out. And I'd like to show you this, because I want to show you what she did, and then I'll make it relevant for you guys. Does that sound good? Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay, so let's say this is month 1, this is month 2, and this is month 3. Okay? So she started with about $1,800. So we'll just say that was the baseline. And after the end of month 1, it was a very slow but steady climb to 2,800. And she stayed at 2,800 all the way, actually there was one major dip right about there where she was at 1,200. Ouch! She lost a couple of clients and blah, blah, blah. And then she made it back to 2,800 by the end of month 2. This making sense? 2,800 per month. She was tracking this. Then right at month 2, she had this, after the first 2 months, she had this huge spike. So over the course of those 3 months, she went from 1,800 to 4,725. And I think, actually, the truth is that she was tracking month, it was like week 1, week 2, week 3, and then this was week 11. She was at 4,725, and this was fresh out of acupuncture school. So she had been out of acupuncture school for about 3 months, and she hired this coach, and that's what happened. Okay, now she's going to be here this afternoon, but she knew I was going to be talking about this morning. She said that she was selling acupuncture sessions for $60 a session, and then she also had a package of coaching that was $300, and then she had this thing called acu-coaching. It was like coaching, and then acupuncture, stick some needles in, see if that changes anything, and then a little more coaching at the end of the session. So it was like a 2-hour session, which she called acu-coaching. She had a few people sign up for that. That was $450 a month for that package. So this is sort of how she did it. She went from 1,800 to 4,725. And I want to talk about this because, over the course of those first 2 months, it was like kind of slow and steady, and then there was a big dip, and then it was slow and steady, back up to this point, the 2,800, and then there was a huge jump right at that 2-month mark. Now, most people I've found are not successful because they don't have the tolerance to go through all of this failure. And so my intention for this weekend is that this weekend allows you to skip all of that and go straight to that. Does that sound good? Okay. So with the templates, with the practice that you get, I think that there's a very good chance that you go right out the gate and go forward. Not to say that there won't be ups and downs, getting clients, losing clients. At the second weekend, we're going to give you a template to help you when you have a client who wants to cancel. How do you have that conversation in a way that's graceful, that has a lot of those people end up sticking with you? Okay? So that's the intention of this program. We're going to go to break. When we get back from break, we're going to get right into... What's it called? Okay, good. I didn't hear any niches. That's good. No. Okay, we're going to get right into niche. Even if you have a niche, I'm going to just share a few things because... So, just in case you have a niche, I'm just going to say this. We've worked with a lot of VIP clients who pay $10,000 for the day, and they come in during the day, and many of them are 6 figures or making close to 6 figures, on their way to 6 figures, and really successful businesses. And it's surprising to me how much of those conversations we're still talking about, is this the right niche? Is it too general? Is it too narrow? Etc.